Max Headroom Incident. The Max Headroom incident occurred on November 22, 1987, when an unknown person, wearing a Max Headroom mask, hijacked two Chicago television stations. The first intrusion happened on WGN Channel 9 at exactly 9:14 p.m. during sports anchor Dan Rowan's report, lasting 17 seconds with buzzing audio before engineers switched the frequency to cut the signal. The second intrusion occurred 2 hours later on PBS station WTTW during Doctor Who with audible distorted speech, including phrases like "frickin' nerd" and references to local WGN personalities like Chuck Swirsky. The hijacker appeared against a striped moving background and ended the broadcast by exposing his buttocks while being spanked with a fly swatter by an accomplice. Despite extensive FBI and FCC investigations involving hundreds of tips and confessions, the perpetrator was never caught and remains one of the most famous unsolved broadcast crimes in television history. The Wyoming Incident. The Wyoming Incident is a disputed broadcast hijacking that witnesses claim occurred in Niobrara County, Wyoming, at an unknown date. People report that a hacker interrupted local programming channels serving smaller rural communities with footage of disembodied human heads displaying various emotions and poses. The camera position allegedly changed every 10 to 15 seconds and was interrupted by special presentation announcements throughout the broadcast. Viewers who watched for extended periods reportedly experienced severe physical symptoms, including vomiting, hallucinations, and debilitating headaches, believed to be caused by frequencies between 17 and 19 Hz played continuously. The exact date remains unknown, and no official FCC investigation records exist, leading some researchers to question whether the incident actually occurred or exists primarily as an internet legend. Birdman Pirate Broadcast. The Birdman Pirate broadcast reportedly occurred on November 18, 2007, during a Fox 30 Jacksonville, Florida, news broadcast covering political campaign events. The broadcast allegedly began with routine coverage of presidential candidates visiting Wyoming, including Mitt Romney's planned campaign tour in Cheyenne, but gradually deteriorated through repeated static bursts and extended audio dropouts. Witnesses described the incident as deliberately subtle, blurring the line between technical malfunction and intentional interference rather than the elaborate production seen in earlier hijacking incidents. The timing proved significant as 2007 marked the transition period to digital broadcasting when traditional hijacking methods were becoming obsolete. Fox 30 Jacksonville issued no official statement about the incident, and the fragmented nature made the investigation difficult. Captain Midnight Incident. The Captain Midnight Incident was a satellite signal hijacking that occurred on April 27, 1986 at 12:32 a.m. Eastern when John McDougal interrupted HBO's broadcast of The Falcon and the Snowman for 4.5 minutes. McDougal was a satellite dish dealer from Ocala, Florida, whose business collapsed when HBO began scrambling its signals in 1985 and charging dish owners $12.95 per month, while cable subscribers only paid $8.95. Working part-time at Central Florida Teleport's satellite uplink facility, McDougal used the facility's transmitter dish to override HBO's signal and display the message, "Good evening HBO from Captain Midnight, $12.95 month, no way, Showtime movie channel beware," to 14 million viewers across the eastern United States. McDougal was caught 3 months later after being overheard bragging about the incident at a payphone, pled guilty, and received a $5,000 fine and 1 year's probation. The incident led to Congress passing the Electronic Communications Privacy Act of 1986, making satellite hijacking a federal felony. We Watch You While You Sleep Incident. We Watch You While You Sleep Incident refers to a broadcast intrusion of unknown date and location, where viewers were confronted with distorted music and disturbing imagery during what appeared to be normal television programming. One detailed eyewitness account describes a newly married couple eating popcorn while watching the evening news when their screen suddenly cut to disturbing content, causing the wife to begin crying in fear and ask, "What is this?" while both stared in shock at their television. The husband rushed to turn off the television and spent the night comforting his terrified wife, assuring her everything would be okay. The exact year and location remain unknown, with no official documentation existing, but the psychological impact on witnesses who experienced it appears to have been lasting and profound. WABC-TV broadcast in 1989. WABC-TV's broadcast in 1989 was a television hijacking that occurred on the New York City ABC affiliate During prime viewing hours in 1989, the intrusion consisted of a simple text message reading, "We watch you while you sleep," displayed over regular programming for approximately 30 seconds before normal broadcasting resumed. The incident occurred in the nation's largest television market during a peak viewership hours, demonstrating that unauthorized access could achieve a significant psychological impact with minimal technical complexity. Unlike elaborate hijacking productions, the simplicity of the text insertion made it particularly unsettling by suggesting someone had gained access just to deliver a single ominous message. Station engineers immediately initiated security reviews, and the FCC launched an investigation, but the perpetrator was never identified despite extensive efforts to trace the source of the intrusion. Nickelodeon hijacking. Nickelodeon hijacking reportedly occurred on July 25, 2005, during a SpongeBob SquarePants episode that was being watched by children across America. The episode allegedly began with normal SpongeBob content, including his characteristic enthusiasm and "I'm ready" catchphrase, along with typical Bikini Bottom adventures that children expected. Commercial breaks initially appeared standard, featuring advertisements for "Now That's What I Call Music Volume 19, but the content gradually shifted to disturbing material, with increasingly distorted audio and ominous undertones. Children became visibly distressed despite being unable to articulate what they were seeing, but were clearly frightened by the transformation of their beloved cartoon. Parents report long-lasting psychological effects, including children refusing to watch SpongeBob episodes afterward and expressing general fear of television itself, asking whether their cartoons were real or safe. Nickelodeon issued no public statements about the incident, possibly to avoid drawing additional attention to the security breach. Find Us hijacking. Find Us hijacking refers to a broadcast intrusion of unknown date and location where witnesses claim a local television station was taken over by unknown individuals displaying cryptic messages and disturbing imagery. The primary message, "Find Us," allegedly appeared repeatedly throughout the hijacked broadcast, interspersed with content that viewers described as deliberately disturbing and designed to create confusion rather than convey any specific information. The repeated "Find Us" message was interpreted by witnesses as either an invitation or a challenge directed at viewers, suggesting the hijackers wanted to establish some form of contact or interaction. Unlike other documented hijacking incidents with clear political or commercial motivations, this appeared designed purely to generate curiosity while simultaneously creating unease among viewers. No official investigation records exist for this incident, and its authenticity remains disputed among researchers, with some suggesting it may have been a local prank or a technical malfunction rather than a deliberate broadcast hijacking.